Hi, I'm Robyn Guymer. I'm an ophthalmologist and I'm the Deputy Director of the Centre for Eye Research Australia. And in this study, I was the Principal Investigator of the lead study, which is the laser for AMD study. So the idea in AMD is to try and stop people having a progression from an early sign of AMD to a late sign. And the 2RT laser is a novel laser designed by Alex, which is an Australian company, to try and allow us to study that laser in its use in slowing the progression of AMD. So what we want to do in AMD is to try and slow the progression from the very early signs of that disease to a point where your vision is threatened. And to this point there really is no intervention that can do that. And so we wanted to plan a trial using a laser to try and see whether we could slow that down. And in the 1990s we used the conventional thermal laser that sort of burnt a part of the retina. And in fact in the 1990s it was shown that we could reduce some of those early signs. But because of the inflammation caused by the actual burning of the laser, it really didn't produce the outcome that we wanted. And so Alex, a laser company in South Australia, has gone ahead and refined that laser to what is called a nanosecond laser. So the shots are so small in time that they don't produce any heat, so they don't damage the overlying retina. So the idea was we wanted to see whether or not this laser could induce a response in that layer of cells that's not doing too well in macular degeneration and make them do a better job. And if that was the case, then we would hopefully slow down someone that has the early signs of the disease from progressing to vision-threatening AMD. We were looking for a group of those early cases that were at high enough risk to, one, want to be in a first-in-world study, and secondly, were at risk enough that they would actually, some of them would progress, so that we could tell if there was a difference between those that did and did not have the treatment. So half the people got our laser and the other half got what's called a sham treatment, so they don't know whether or not they got the real treatment or not. And then we followed them every 6 months for 3 years, and every 6 months they would have the treatment if they were still eligible, so if they hadn't progressed. And at the end of 3 years we looked at the results to see whether or not the laser enabled that disease to stay more stable. When we looked at the results of the study, it seemed that the laser might work differently on those with a different form of drusen called reticular pseudodrusen, or RPD. We saw it very rarely when you looked in, and it was often missed. But on the new imaging techniques you can see it very often. And so at the end of the study we thought, well, we better go back and have a look and see whether or not this different form of deposit influenced the outcome. And it certainly appeared that if you had these reticular pseudodrusen, the laser may not be as helpful as if you didn't.